Welcome back, YouTubers, to another Raw review of us, your boys, the reviewers, the monsters. We are fantastic. It's none other than the British Fist. As NJ does a celebratory dance there for the 995th edition of Raw. We're only 4 away now from the 3-hour move. Oh, God. I'm Mr. Parkin, and this guy sitting next to me is NJ.
What's up?
Not looking forward to that 3-hour move. But anyway, subscribe up above, like this video, and comment any thoughts you have on this edition of Monday Night Raw in that comment section below.
And make sure you contact us in the link below.
Indeed, do that. We opened up the show this week after No Way Out pay-per-view and all the shenanigans that happened there. We opened up with none other than Mick Foley, none other than Long Island's own Mick Foley, and he announces that he will be the temporary GM as John Laurinaitis has officially been fired as the GM. Your thoughts on this development, NJ?
I normally complain about the usage of Mick Foley because they use him a bit too much, but with this, then building to the 1000th episode, him being a big part of the build-up of the WWF, WWE, I do like involvement. Him being the GM, like I've been saying many times, as long as it's a likeable GM, the fans will like it, the show will be good because of it. So with Mick Foley being the temporary GM for Raw, I had no problems with it. Very good.
Yeah, and he announced a tag match. Kane and Daniel Bryan versus CM Punk and Sheamus. We'll get onto that thoughts on that in a minute. And he also introduces Johnny Ace. And Johnny Ace came out to a massive amount of heat. And it's this reason why I wasn't a massive fan of them firing Johnny Ace, because you see the amount of heat the guy gets, and you just think, man, WWE could have done so much more with this heat, but I can't really do too much about it now. He's fired, and he makes the main event of John Cena versus Big Show, Otunga, and himself, because he wants to go off in shining fashion.
Okay, Vince McMahon's the owner of the WWE. He does not like John Laurinaitis, but it gives him the power to make a main event match.
People power!
Which obviously goes against the person who did a big favour for Vince McMahon, so I've questioned that, why they allow him to do that, but yeah, John Laurinaitis' plans don't go too well.
No, we'll find out more about that in the main event, but then we get Sheamus and CM Punk coming out to kind of like mock John Laurinaitis a little bit, and that moves us on to our first match of the evening, in a move very reminiscent to last week's SmackDown. Right after the opener, CM Punk and Sheamus versus Daniel Bryan and Kane. Just give your quick thoughts on this match being straight after the opener. Did you enjoy the fact that the opening 30-35 minutes were all to do with this, or did you think that they really should have spread it out over the show?
Well, with the 3 segments we got the opener, which obviously got straight to the point following on from the pay-per-view. The hour main event we'll get to later, and then the main event. So this was in the right place for what it was, and also this is I know it's a tag match we've seen before and that, but it does make sense following the pay-per-view, have the winners there and the losers there, making a match-up out of it, so I had no problems with this.
And I think the important word you said there was follow-up. I mean, this did follow up to the pay-per-view a tad. I mean, it was a decent tag match. It went about 14 minutes. A lot of it was during adverts, but the highlight of this match was when AJ comes out in a Kane costume, kind of like, you know, Halloween has started a little bit early for AJ. She loves to play dress-up. I know that for a fact.
Well, she did her best trying to find the best costume she could that represents Kane. The best part of the outfit really was a mask, because the outfit really weren't Kane style-like, but the colours were right. And with her coming out, there really weren't much to this, apart from, in a way, lure Kane away from the match. Maybe she's just using Kane to help someone else, which we'll probably find out at a later pay-per-view. But this was the highlight, because the match had its good spots with the wrestlers doing this, wrestlers doing that. But AJ coming out, progressing on the storyline other than that follow-up match.
With all the build being about AJ, you kind of knew AJ would have a part in this. And usually the focus is on AJ, so that is the highlight of the segment. And basically, AJ distracts Kane to allow the faces to get the victory on Daniel Bryan.
The finish was quite clever. It was like the going to sleep, the bro kick, 1, 2, 3, poor Bryan. So Bryan fans, I know you must have hated that he got double teamed by the 2 faces, but it made sense because they were more concentrating on the Kane progression with AJ, which will probably come back to Bryan and Punk later on.
And you never know, guys. He may still become WWE Champion. Probably not, but there we go. Interesting note here. Punk is now the 4th longest WWE title reign in 12 years. I just wonder, though, NJ, who can he lose it to? Because that title reign is going to have to come to an end soon. Who can he really lose it to? Daniel Bryan? Kane? Who?
Well, out of all the people that are probably going to be losing it to, there's the fact that we have Wade Barrett returning,
True.
and him now in time, he should be back on Raw, who else then go against CM Punk for the championship?
And I think a Money in the Bank cash-in could be the best way to get that belt off CM Punk in a way. We'll move on to the next segment then. A segment which we've been kind of expecting for a while now. Dolph Ziggler versus Jack Swagger in the battle of, who is the best. And Ziggler gets another face reaction from the Rhode Island crowd. And it's good that they've finally gone there with Dolph Ziggler. Instead of making him job out like they would usually do like in tag team segments with him, they've made him get a victory. It is over Jack Swagger, but at least they've done something to at least make him a part of the TV show and look like he is an important part of the TV show in this little mini feud.
That is the thing, because they are trying to make him seem semi-important in the WWE right now before it probably gets built up to something. With this, it was all made by Vicky Guerrero, picking who am I going to manage, who am I going to be with, who's the better man. The match was made. The match, for what it was pretty strongly done by both sides, even though Jack Swagger's not the important part of the build-up to WWE's future. Ziggler is. He was actually booked quite strong in this match. I think it was good. We expect it coming, because obviously the fallouts, the Ziggler pinning Swagger, Ziggler's progression to the main event, so it's expected, but it was pretty good.
And we can only hope that WWE developed Dolph Ziggler from here. He's kind of, I wonder if they'll make him into like their version of Austin Aries, in like the sense that he can steal the show all the time, and he'll probably move up the card. You got to wonder though. They did that thing with Ziggler's knee, the whole injury angle, maybe to try and get him over as a face a little bit. But at the end of the day, he won and he stayed with Vicky Guerrero. Do you think it's time to move Dolph Ziggler up the card and away from Vicky Guerrero?
Well, as much as I want to say yes, the reason I want to say no for a little period of time is because with heel GMs, they work better, managers, they work better on their own. So I think her on her own, without Swagger now, move away from Swagger, concentrate on Ziggler for a while, especially during this build-up to the main event. Then when he comes to champion, or he's in a scene where he feels comfortable, then say, I don't need you anymore, look where I am, get out of here. But at this moment in time, I think maybe using Vicky to help him on his own progress would be a good move.
Yeah, and I think the Rhode Island crowd specifically, when also, at the pay-per-view as well, they're the only fans that really give Ziggler a face reaction. It's probably smart to keep him as heel for now. We saw at No Way Out that Triple H laid down the gauntlet for Brock Lesnar, and in this week's edition of Raw, we had the whole, will Lesnar accept Triple H's SummerSlam challenge? And that brings out none other than his representative, Paul Heyman, saying that Lesnar isn't going to drop the lawsuit, and he's not going to be facing Triple H at SummerSlam, which means he's probably going to be facing Triple H at SummerSlam, guys, in kayfabe.
Yeah, with Heyman on the mic, I thought this was pretty nicely done. Keep Brock Lesnar out for a bit longer, even though with him there, something big and bad's going to happen. With Heyman on the mic, many people like him. Many people know that he's going to bring it to the ring, and that's exactly what he did. His words were that good. They brought out Triple H just before he left the ring. Yeah, and then out comes Triple H, of course, and as you all know, NJ has a lovely Triple H shirt as well as a banging belly, and he basically comes out and says that Lesnar should be a man and fight him at SummerSlam and not hide behind all the lawyers. And you kind of ever feel there's some shoot stuff in here with Triple H against Brock Lesnar being part of UFC and everything. There's the important part of this. There's two things. Number one, Triple H was actually saying that he's don't be a coward, come out and face me. You know that he's scared of me and that. But he mentioned one key word which represents the both of them, because they both have it, obviously, with this. Triple H was saying as much as he can to bring the best out of Brock Lesnar, and that was the word ego. That was the key part of this. They both have an ego, they both want to fight each other and prove which one's better, and I think that word is going to help to make this feud, this match, more important than what it is. Hopefully it will. They do need something there, and I think this is probably going to be the bigger angle of the summer. This is probably going to be the main event of SummerSlam now, if they go there. They've got Brock Lesnar on the cover of SummerSlam as well, so you have to think this will be the main event. It looks like Triple H has met his match on the mic as well. Heyman really did handle himself quite well here, even though, another lawsuit! Unfortunately, NJ, you're going to be hearing from my lawyers in the TNA review, but there we go. So it was a good hour main event segment. It kind of sets the boundaries. It kind of sets the groundwork. When Lesnar comes in, it'll get a whole lot more interesting, though. And all we can say is that between now and SummerSlam, we're going to get the feud or the build-up of Triple H and Lesnar. So I expect there to be at least a draw to each Raw coming up with Triple H, maybe Lesnar returning before SummerSlam, and Heyman. Kind of similar to after WrestleMania when they had Lesnar coming in every week and using up his dates. But there we go. So the first hour of Raw was pretty good in my opinion. It's just a shame we had to get to the second hour, wasn't it, really? You had Santino versus Alberto Del Rio.
the day after he was supposed to be wrestling Sheamus at the pay-per-view, and he had a concussion. So the day after he's cleared for wrestling, the day after the pay-per-view, it's kind of like, no, maybe they weren't going to take too many risks with Del Rio. Just something I'll put out there.
For the WWE to make us believe that the concussion was real, having him on the next night after the pay-per-view, just so suddenly made us think, okay, your concussion went the night after the pay-per-view. Yeah, reliable. Maybe Del Rio just didn't want to face Sheamus again.
No, probably.
But it's a bit of a shame that happened. But this match...
Squash Mania?
I'm trying to look at it, but it's the squash most of the time. But the best part of the match, yes, Santino lost, but was when Rodriguez announced Del Rio won and then did the armbar to Santino and put him down.
Rodriguez is so funny. Del Rio gets a very quick win here, and you know, if there was ever a segment which really does show why the United States Championship belt around Santino is very meaningless, it's a segment like this where he just gets squashed by Del Rio in about a minute. But
the another positive thing about this is this segment, I'm thinking, is continuing a feud. We're going to have another Santino-Rodriguez match. Not in a gimmicky match. I think it'll be more of a wrestling match, hopefully. Maybe the US titles to add something different to it. But I think there's going to be more to this. And you've just proven again another point why Santino really shouldn't be carrying that US belt. He's in a feud against Ricardo Rodriguez, who is a ring announcer. But we'll move on from that. Next we had the Cyndi Lauper returns segment. Yeah, girls just want to have fun. Yeah, they really do. You want to have fun with me. That's who you want to have fun with, ladies. Ladies have fun with NJ all the time. I need some women, ladies. I need some. There we go. The British Swiss groupies are out there somewhere. We just don't know where they are. Girls want to have fun. You have Layla, because she's actually British, so she could do this properly. Layla introduces Cyndi Lauper and Wendy Richter, the two that they were involved at WrestleMania 1. And why did Heath Slater come out? I mean, the one-man band! It's not the one-man rock band anymore, it's the one-man band! Oh my god. The best part of his coming out was his awesome singing. When it comes out like a single, I'm going to buy it. Please give me a signed copy. Wow.
I'm not even going to download it for free. Even if I wouldn't even download that if I got paid to download it, but there we go. Yeah. You pretty much had this train wreck segment, and you had Roddy Piper coming out and giving Cyndi Lauper the gold record for Captain Lou, I think his name was. I can't really remember because I wasn't paying too much attention to this segment. And basically, Cyndi Lauper hits Slater over the head with the gold record. I'm like, why was Slater even involved here?
It does. You say about Slater, I could say the same thing about Piper. Piper should come out to the best. The best people that need the push. Oh, you said amazing about Piper. The best, the push, the one that's going to go in direction. So for him to come out to this segment and to Slater, it just really did not make me feel like, yes, there's Piper! Which is a shame, because when Piper comes, we want there to be a good reaction. But that's another thing. Throughout this part of the show we're talking about now, the crowd were there.
The second hour, definitely, yeah. Just like the second hour of the pay-per-view, the second hour of this show didn't get too much fan reaction. It was nice to see Cyndi Lauper and then to bring back a moment like that for WrestleMania 1 and the whole rock and wrestling connection, but this segment really was a train wreck in my opinion because of Heath Slater.
Madison Square Garden.
Yeah, he's just so fucking talented and he would never, ever, ever should be in a ring at Madison Square Gardens. Please don't book that, WWE. Wow, we had a tag team match next, MJ. Wow. Epico and Primo versus the Primetime Players. Millions of dollars with none other than AW. Oh, man.
They gave him a bit of mic time, which was good. He announced his new tag team, which was really good. Because when he announced them, he tried to make them look like a big deal. Very nicely done. The match, though, I'm not going to give much credit to WWE. Because, yes, you've got two heels facing each other. But then Abram Washington takes the heels away from the match. They get counted out.
It looks like they're maybe going to try a feud between these two tag teams, even though they're both kind of heel. Epico and Primo didn't really get a face reaction, so who knows what they're going to do here. The Primetime Players get counted out because Abraham Washington's like, we're the number one contenders, we don't need this shit. It's classic heel stuff, but there we go. So I just wonder if we're seeing maybe a tag team feud here. Are the Primetime Players going to be the next tag team champions with R-Truth's foot injury? I think they will, and they will go very far with Abraham Washington. It makes a lot of sense for Abraham Washington, a man about money, to be part of this Primetime Players tag team.
I do look forward to the progression of them getting better in their whole book and they've been through at the minute. I just hope that with this, Aiden Washington, the win that should pick up, because I was expecting a dominant win here with Aiden Washington there, but a count out. I'm a bit let down, but again, it could be seen as a heel move.
Could be seen as a continuance of a feud as well, who really knows. Chris Jericho is going to return next week. Brilliant.
Let's give him a month, yeah?
Yeah, let's go. Return from suspension, they forgot to add. But be good to see Chris Jericho back, even though he was suspended.
It will. We'll then come back, like we said many times, especially before No Way Out, they do need the big stars coming back. And with Jericho coming back, yes, Orton's disappeared. Where's he gone?
Oh, yeah, someone's been a little bit. Oh no, injecting himself with Diabol.
He could have done absolutely anything. But when he comes back, who is he going to feud with? Everyone's booked up at the minute. Yes, there's that triple threat match that could be cancelled down. But we'll just have to see. It'd be interesting to see what they do with Jericho now everyone else has disappeared or in a feud.
Will I get suspended by the British Fist Committees if I rip up this Domino's vouchers, which are out of date? Fucking, I'm going to get suspended now, aren't I, for desecrating Domino's vouchers that are out of date? God damn it, I'm such a bad boy. I'm a bad boy. Let's move on to the main event, shall we? Johnny Ace cuts a promo saying that we're all losers because we don't have people power anymore. I must admit, I'm going to miss people power, but my opinion of Johnny Ace kind of went down in this segment because he called us all losers. That's not how, that's not how you do things around here, brother.
Of all the insults there are in the world, because of the PG era, because he's John Laurinaitis, he had to come up with the word loser. And for us to call it a loser, yes, we've heard freaks in the past, we've been heard loads of many names. Yes, with him coming out, it didn't really warm up the match, but it got a bit more interest for me when out comes his partners, David Otunga and The Big Show.
Yeah, and The Big Show pretty much says, well, you guys go ahead. I'm going to the back. I'm going on for bigger and better things, brother. And that leaves it to be a tag match between Cena and Otunga and Johnny Ace. And you had Teddy Long on commentary as well. He took the sign off. He took the sign off and ripped it in front of the crowd.
And again, even with that, a face guy doing that, there was no reaction. And Big Show walking out, as long as that doesn't come to another face turn because he's walked out on a heel. And, oh yeah, Big Show, you know your contract you was meant to how great it was?
The ironclad one.
Finished! It's gone!
What? It's like rendition of the walkout angle from the last fucking year. But anyway, we get the tag match. It was a typical John Cena tag match where you have the highlight of this is when Johnny Ace, you had Johnny Ace on the outside. Oh no, I'm not tagging in, and then he tags in. He tries to tag Otunga, and what does Otunga do, MJ?
Goodbye.
Exactly. Otunga doesn't want to stick by you if you don't have power, because that's the power that a Harvard Law graduate has in the wrestling business. Isn't that right?
Yes, it's David Otunga who needs John Laurinaitis to get some of the WWE. Now, John Laurinaitis is gone. What's going to Otunga? What's going to the Big Show? But the match ends with what we all expect. John Cena on his own with John Laurinaitis and gets actually adjustment 3, 4, whatever time it was to finish the match.
Yeah, and I must admit, the 3 AAs to Johnny Ace from John Cena to effectively end Johnny Ace's run as GM on his last night, it got a very good reaction from the crowd. Probably one of the biggest reactions of the night, essentially, the whole AA thing, the triple AA.
I guess they need to do something that the crowd would be a boost of reaction. Each one, the crowd reaction go boom, boom,
yeah,
boom.
And all I can say now is goodbye, Johnny Ace. It's been a good run. I've enjoyed People Power. I've enjoyed the Johnny Ace character. I know some people haven't enjoyed the Johnny Ace character too much, but I'm going to miss you, brother. Come back to TV soon and be in the Hall of Fame, please.
Na 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 na. Hey, goodbye.
Yeah, that was pretty funny, wasn't it? So this is the last night for Johnny Ace, and I know there's going to be a lot of people out there in the YWC that are really going to be like, man, this Raw was an A+ because Johnny Ace is finally off TV. I'm going to be like, it's an F- because Johnny Ace has been going off TV, but there we go.
My hope for this is now Laurinaitis is out the way. Bad things still happen to Cena. Come on, WWE, come on!
And all I can say is, this is Big Show's Ironclad contract, and that's the contract ripped up again. And the contract ripped up again. But anyway, overall thoughts on Raw this week. It followed up on the pay-per-view well. We didn't get any build to Money in the Bank, though, which is a little bit disappointing. The Money in the Bank matches need to be built up and stuff. Also, the first hour was really good, I thought. And the second hour just was like, to me, really, it was a two-part show, in my opinion.
There was quite a bit that WWE were trying to do the whole rest aspect as well as just trying to throw in entertainment stuff, which didn't really work. But what I noticed the WWE also did was hype up at least 3 pay-per-views. There was the Money in the Bank coming up, there was the SummerSlam, and then there was the Night of Champions, sorry. Yeah, they did all that and 1,000 episodes, so they did quite a lot here hyping up the future, but the build-wise just weren't there.
No, the build wasn't there, but the follow-up was there, so I'll give them credit there. And with regards to the 1,000th episode, apparently that is going to be like a pay-per-view. They're going to announce matches, have legends there and stuff on the first 3-hour show. So we look forward to see what they do for that, which I guess will be after... Is it after Money in the Bank? Yeah, it'll be after Money in the Bank on July. It'll be interesting to see whether Wade Barrett returns, Rey Mysterio returns, Jericho returns for Money in the Bank, all that kind of stuff. So Money in the Bank does have potential, it's just you didn't get too much build on this show, which was a little bit disappointing after No Way Out. That's all I'll say about that. Give us, I'll give this Raw a C, because it was like really good B+ material for the first half, and then like D+, D- material for the second half, in my opinion. Even with the Johnny Ace firing moment, which I must admit would put a smile on a lot of casual fans' faces, but I'll just say that. I'll give it a C this week. Yeah, no grade, you only grade pay-per-views now, don't you? Yes. So there we go. So you post your thoughts on this edition of Raw down in the comment section below. We want to hear what you have to say about this show, and now I'm going to hand you over to this guy, the man with the fantastic Triple H t-shirt, Triple H mark #1. NJ, do you want to give these guys a nice little rendition now?
Thank you very much, people. This has been an interesting Raw, but not very good entertainment-wise. Build-wise, not really. All to say, people, from Mr. Parkin sitting here next to me, and me and Jay sitting here, all I can say, people, is people power, goodbye, and hello to who comes next. But from Mr. Parkin, me and Jay, till next time, goodbye.